One thing that active alcoholics do very well, they control. Active alcoholics are control freaks to the max. And we come by it innocently, right? We had to control our lives. We had to find the next drink, all the chaos in our lives. We had to do a lot of things, a lot of juggling to keep the whole addiction, unmanageability, powerlessness going for as long as, we came into the program, right? We had to do that. So control, we are not strangers to being control freaks. So to ask somebody in a program to turn their will and their lives over to the care of God, forget it, man. And I was one of them. I was an agnostic. As an atheist, I'm pretty sure I was an agnostic. I wasn't an atheist, that's for sure. But anyways, I had difficulties with the whole thing. And when I read the step, the only word I heard in that whole step was the word God. All the other words didn't even have to be there because all I heard was the word God. And I was like, yeah, right. Alcoholics are psychologically grounded in control. They really are. They won't admit it, but they really are. Active alcoholics, for sure, they're grounded in control. We are control freaks. When we drank, we had to juggle our lives, man. Our money, our car payments, our rent, our mortgage, whatever it was, we had a lot of things in the air at once. So we had to, be very, very controlling of our lives and the outcome of our situation. Really, it was incredible the stuff a lot of us did in active addiction. I heard somebody say at work one time, alcoholics are just weak-willed people. I'm like, yeah, right. I've never met a weak-willed alcoholic. We are defiant to the max. So when it comes to step 3, no wonder a lot of us have difficulties. No wonder we do, right? Because we are psychologically wired that way through alcoholism addiction. So when it comes to giving that up, it's very hard. It's very, very, very hard to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God or a higher power, for lesser words. But the reality of it is, it's not as harsh or as big deal as a lot of people think. Because there's one word in that step that I overlooked too. And it's a decision to turn our will and our lives over. It's a decision. It doesn't have to happen right at step 3. It doesn't. If you're sitting around a table in a kitchen like I was, and you're not getting it, or your sponsor or somebody's telling me you have to get it, it's growth, man. It's growth. It says, after step 12, we had a spiritual awakening. Only through the steps, we really get to understand the higher power, as far as I'm concerned. If you have, like I said, if you have God of your understanding at step 3, kudos to you, because the program will be a lot easier. But for some of us, turning our will over was very difficult. But long as you're willing, and you made a decision to be willing, and you're thinking maybe there's a different way of doing all this, there's a different way of living one day at a time, and you're willing to give up some stuff, maybe some old thinking. By the way, just watching this video, as far as I'm concerned, you're working step 3. Just by giving up a little, the idea that maybe your life didn't work, become willing. That's all it is. It's a decision to become willing. God is not going to come down and just hit us on the top of the head with a bolt of lightning. It doesn't happen like that. At least it didn't happen for me. It didn't happen for me like that. My spirituality, it took years to come. And I got 30 years in the program. It took years. And to this day, I still work on it. I still have a hard time turning my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood Him. I still have difficulties with that. But I practice each and every day, and my life gets better. Like step 3 is more like a thought. It's more like a decision. It's in your head sort of deal. become willing, because you need a certain amount of emotional horsepower to continue on with the steps. Step 4 for a lot of people is daunting, so you need some willpower to do that, right? You need some open-mindedness and some willpower and some courage to do that. So that's what it's asking you in step 3. And step 5, the same thing, and the rest of them, the same thing. And because you do the steps, and because you had the willingness and you made a decision to continue on with the steps, you will have no problem, believe me, you will have no problem finding a higher power or understanding what a higher power is. You really will. A lot of us do not give ourselves enough time, and we think we have to be this spiritual guru at step 3. No, you don't. I was an agnostic, like I say, for many years. I didn't believe, and I started to believe, and I started to work the program, and I got better. And let me tell you something. My life was pretty crummy when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. It was pretty lousy. And through the steps and the traditions, my life is pretty good. And if that's not a miracle, what is? What is it? Okay? So what I'm trying to say in the long and short of it, if you're struggling with step 3, that's okay. A lot of us have struggled with it. If you don't have a higher power and you don't understand God, that's okay. That's okay. All you need to do is make a decision and have some willingness to carry on with the rest of the program, and you will get the higher power idea or God. And by the way, you don't find God. You already have God in you. You already have it in you. Conscious contact with a higher power. You already have it. You just need to clean out that garbage that's sitting on top of it and not allowing you to feel the presence of a higher power in your soul, in your heart. And that's the truth of it. It really